Yo, welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video of me and my friends trip down to Fontana, California. It was a great invitation. It was a great way to have a break to get away from all the car stuff I've been doing all week. I am less than a month away from bringing this car to the track for March Mayhem, and I spent a couple days off camera to really put in some work, some elbow grease to finally knock out the axles right here on the floor. For those who've been wondering about Mil, he's right there. But anyways, oh, and he's been rolling in the dirt too. So anyways, I knocked the axles out. I reused my impact wrench, and what I did was I didn't think about this before, but you know, after torching it with WD-40, oh, and that's my dog too. Owen. Anyways, I sprayed WD-40 in it. I super torched it until like the whole rotor was hot, and then I used my impact to tighten. So I tightened it, and I watched the socket move, and at that point I knew, I was like, all right, well, if I put it in reverse, it's gonna break it loose. So I did it a few times, click clack, and finally broke this one loose, and then I broke the passenger side loose. You can still see the driver's side axle right here is still hyperextended from the boot. I cannot get that bearings to sit back in place so I can you know, put it back into its joint. So what I'm going to do, and the reason why I'm taking this off, is because obviously the passenger side axle was torn up, and right there you can see it. I wanted to change that out, and looking at this one right here, you can see all the cracks on the boot itself. So I wanted to change out the boots before I put it back into the car. So this one doesn't seem to be a hybrid axle, but this one is. So what I'm going to do is, this is the same length, it looks like, to my DA shaft, and this is my CRX, my red CRX B series shaft. And I don't think I'm going to be using it anytime soon this year, so I'm just going to rob this one and see if this will work in the CRX. And then this one, I am going to change the boots front or inside and outside, and that will allow me to really get these bearings back in and repack them with grease, and then we can slap these back into the car. Also, last night I spent a few hours really finishing up this manifold. I went every grit up from 40 all the way to 240, I believe, and it's pretty polished out. I mean, there are a lot of scars on the walls itself, but you know what? Trial and error for me, right? This is my first time, and you can see it's a ton cleaner, and the runners are really nice and smoothing out. No crazy scratches in the wall where you can catch it with your fingernails. So I am probably just going to use liquid gasket maker today to really seal this up. So I am going to get started with something at least, and hopefully make great progress today, because we need to get this car ready, dynoed, painted before March 18th. Justin Bieber's on right now, and I got to turn it down because YouTube. Anyways, so I want to show you guys the header real quick. I'm like all over the place. I'm so excited to really like finally be able to make some type of progress now that the axles came out. So I was looking at the header, and I was like, man, since I am able to semi-weld with my TIG welder, kind of wanted to like start working on the header a little bit today. I kind of want to show you guys the B series header. I don't know how well the GoPro is going to pick it up. Let me see here. Dang, nibble it. Okay, well, anyways, I don't know if you guys can see it, but these two runners lined up perfectly with the hole on the head, and the two outside runner, the line where the opening of the head to this runner is literally like kind of on the welds a little bit, or possibly on the backside on the flange, but I marked it so I know where the opening from the head to this is at. And You can see if I was to trace it, it's probably going to be on the skirt. So what I'm going to do with the header is I'm going to take my cutting tool and round this edge off a little bit, so that way the flow of the exhaust fume is going to flow into the header rather than hit the edge and then tumbling into the header. I want it to be as, oh my god, what in the world? I want it to be a nice flowing pattern into the head rather than hitting a wall. And I am going to have to shade this flange down a little bit. So I'm gonna move my card out so I can use the chop saw. And before I did that, I sealed up the intake manifold using gasket maker gray. I used enough. So for the exhaust, I need the chop saw because I already cut the flange off. I'm not going to be needing this ugly looking rusted out thing. Completely missed that. That's why I don't play basketball. But anyways, so this is the backside that I just cut off the flange, and I'm probably going to shorten down these runners because I don't have much space from where the runners are going to 90-degree out towards the driver's side. I only have like however much space that is. I haven't cut the frame rail yet because in case I ever want to turn around, then I don't have a hole in my frame rail. So now I got to cut these two right here. These are the junctions for the runners, and they are going to be shortened obviously, and they are going to be stacked like kind of on each other like that. So all four runners are going to 90-degree into here, and then obviously it's going to be shortened back here, and I need a chop saw to make a clean cut. And then right here is going to merge into these two, and then it'll be one straight out the bumper. So let's get cutting. Damn paint marker. So I got these runners cut out, and the 90s also cut off these two runners right here and right there. So the first two I'm going to be working on is the closest one to the frame rail. This is just a rough idea of where I want the hole, but I'm not going to cut it out just yet until I get these guys figured out. And so far it's looking good. I have the just fell out, but I have this kind of measured out with the junction piece right here, and I know how much I got to cut out to aim that towards the hole. And I kind of had the other one right there side by side to ensure I got some space. There's going to be a lot of trimming obviously, but I want to at least get the runners routed that direction first, not welded, tacked up here but not welded here. I'm not going to keep this a two-piece unit. I am actually going to just weld them completely shut. That's after it's all test fitted. Right now I am going to make the first cut on this guy and then kind of like, I don't know, set it in place so I can get this guy routed with the other short 90 right there. Get this hung, and then I can route these two to correspond with this two before it merges into the one collector over there. Alright, so this took me some time to really get this sharp 90 made. I used a lot of different size pie cuts, and it was a little complicated because this header comes in obviously transitioned piping. And what I mean by that is right here, you see how the top is smaller right here, and then it goes down here, then it becomes bigger again. So it's like stepping up in size as it is exiting the back half of the manifold. So I didn't have much pipe to work with, but I just took pretty much the existing 90 and pie cut a whole bunch of different sizes and just mix match them together to get this sharp 90 bend to the junction. And while I was welding that, I realized I don't even have welding wire. This is all my stainless steel right here. It's literally nothing, and I was using this little roach right here. But I think my goal really is just to make it, and then I am going to fully weld it when I go to the welding store to buy more rods. Right now, I'm going to make up the other 2 runners to the junction before we brainstorm how it's going to go out the frame rail. Alright, you guys, so this is as far as I am going to get for tonight, because I am really cold and I'm tired of working in the dark now, because you know, it's hard to see my stuff. So I got the runner 3 and 4 routed to where they are going to be going, and I must say this is looking really good. So the other end right here, the 2 to 1, that's going to be going to those guys right there, 2, and then it's going to go 1 through the frame rail, and then you can see it's kind of tapered. So right here I am going to taper it out like what is this, 2.5 to a 3, and I might do a 90 so I can teardrop it out the bumper. But right now, like I said, I'm gonna wrap it up. I already cleaned everything, as you can see. Everything's back into place. Tomorrow I'll continue shortening this guy right here, and obviously this is aimed where it is going to be going, and I am going to possibly cut out a hole on the frame rail so I can mock this up. And once I get everything obviously mocked up, I'm going to fully weld everything. Tomorrow I'm going to head to the welding shop and get more rods, because I don't have any other than .030, which will do the job. It'll look like this. Except there are a lot of gaps, so I'm going to use the God, I haven't welded in a while, I forgot. I'm going to be using the 1/16 to fill in gaps, because there are a few gaps here and there, like right there. So yeah, I'm going to continue this tomorrow, and hopefully we finish it tomorrow so we can move on to the axles and suspension.